That day, the day in the life of Nellie Jack John, felt like a dream, and there was no place for it in the store of my mind. When the ground opened up before us, we thought he was a ghost. He'd been looking for treasure, but he didn't know he'd been looking for 200 years. All his folk were dead, so he went back, looking for the past again. The only thing he left behind was a candle. I didn't know how David felt. For a week there had been a silence between us. I hadn't felt able to get him out of it. With David, he just had to wait. But now it was Saturday afternoon again. The time was ripe. The silence was over.
It's in here.
Still alright, is it?
Yep.
But flames need oxygen, don't they?
Not this one, apparently. See, the tins are tight. So, in theory, once it's used up all the oxygen, it should go out. But it hasn't.
And it's still the same length. Weird. What's that you got?
Well, it measures the temperature of the tin. And this one measures the air.
And?
And the tin's colder. The flame, it gives off cold.
How long's it been in there?
Most of the week.
Maybe it's radioactive.
Dangerous.
Yeah. How do we test for that?
A Geiger counter. A really easy thing to lay hands on a Saturday afternoon.
Have you tried film? Well, doesn't radioactivity do something to film?
Good thinking. We'll get 2 films. We'll wrap one in paper and one in lead. We'll expose them to the candle, develop them, and see if there's any difference.
Oh, yes. Oh, dear. I think you must have had a fault on your camera. There's nothing on these at all.
What, neither of them?
Afraid not.
There's no shadows, nothing at all.
Completely unexposed. Sorry. There's no charge. Hope it wasn't anything important.
No, it's all right. Really. Thanks a lot.
I put yours in first, and then mine, and there's some blank pages in case you remember anything else.
Now what?
I don't know.
Well, I thought you'd have a fairy. You're the bright one. I mean, this crazy thing happens. And, well, we've done the scientific thing and written it up. But we can't just leave it. Forget it.
No. Maybe there's something else. Something connected that we'll see because we're looking for it.
What sort of something else?
I haven't a clue.
So what do you think about stones?
There's something else might have happened that's a bit odd.
And connects?
Well, maybe. I mean, the newspaper definitely said they'd been moved.
They must be joking. They're 10 feet high.
The council think it's vandals.
Well, like Superman. Well, there is one down at Swank Farm. Down there. Frank Watson's place. He's some sort of cousin of my mum's. He told me once his grandfather took him for a gatepost. Died soon after.
I'm not surprised.
I wonder which came first. The path or the stones?
Path came to the stones, I reckon.
They were brought here, weren't they? They didn't walk.
Maybe they did. Come on, race you.
First one to touch gets a wish.
Careful, might come true. Right, let's have a look. I found this. It must have been taken years ago. It might give an idea, if I can work out where it was taken from.
David, this is weird.
What?
These patches.
They are like this.
Yeah. It does look as if they've moved.
So they did walk here.
No! Some joker's done it on purpose.
Yay! Look, you can see what's pushed the ground up. You could almost say it were proved.
I don't want it proved.
It's not vandals though.
No.
It's more earthquake-ish.
Earthfasts.
What?
Earthfasts. The sort of big stones that rise up in the ground. Frank Watson told me. They found a lot this year. Down at Swang. When they were ploughing.
So maybe the earth's been shifting all over. Not just what we
I
saw.
thought we saw.
Oh, except when Nellie Jack John came out, that was the ground moving. This really looks like it's the stones moving along the hill.
There's a line round them too. And cracks.
It's frost.
Like a man. 12 feet tall and up to his knees in the ground.
You can see anything in stones. Maybe the stones were carved once. Ancient heroes, like Woden and Thor.
Oh?
Woden and Thor. They're the Norse gods. Woden's day is Wednesday, and Thor's day is...
Thursday.
That's it! There's 7 stones. There's 7 days of the week.
What about the one that's taken for a gatepost?
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's moved too.
I don't know. I'll have to...
Seeing things.
No. It were a giant. I saw it and all.
Get back! All of you, just get back! Come on! Dark. Come on! It's the hunt.
Sunday.
They're following something.
There's no one with them.
But if they've got out, someone will be looking. We best see where they go. Look! That's come up. I suppose I could stop and try and keep the hounds here while you wait for the huntsman. I don't think I want to now. Me neither. I mean, I don't mind so much about time doing funny things, but we know rocks don't move about. Not like this. I think I want to get out of here. I can see it, whatever it is. Was it what we heard in the wood? Or saw on the hill?
Come on, lads, jump in, quick. Are you all right? You'll have to come with me, I'm afraid. There's been some trouble up at Swang, Frank Watson's place. Police have just called.
Trouble?
Well, Frank came in, found his wife on the floor, furniture all over the place. And the relations of yours, Keith?
Yeah? Is she all right, me auntie?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Police thought it might be vandals.
Oh, Doctor.
Evening, Frank.
When she knew you were coming, she wanted to be up tidying, but I made her stop here till you come.
Quite right. Now then, Eileen, let's have a look at it, shall we?
There's no wrong with me. A spot of arnica won't sort out. I'd have had tea on by now if he'd have let me.
Hey, it's Keith.
Hello, Uncle Frank.
And David and all.
Aye, my dad saw us on the road.
Yeah, drowning in the rain.
So, you didn't see anyone, Mr. Watson?
No, neither did Eileen. I mean, she'll tell you. I just come in for my tea. I find her lying there in a place like you can see it. I did hear some at mine, so I went round the house with my shotgun.
What was it you heard?
Well, it was like something were whirling round, knocking things over. And then it sounded like something were upsetting me cows. So I goes outside, and all them stones on top of the wall, they're rolling round the yard.
I see.
No damage that I can find, Eileen.
Plenty of fat to fall on, Doctor.
And there's nothing missing?
The bruises will be painful for a couple of days.
No, not as far as I can see.
So I'll give you some painkillers. But you do best to go to bed with some tea and keep warm.
Can I ask some questions first, Doctor?
Yes, of course. I'll get some tea then.
So, can you remember what happened, Mrs. Watson?
Aye. Well, like Frank said, there come this terrific whirling in the room. Tables of chairs just flying. Next thing I knew, Frank were bending over me.
And you sure there weren't a person here who attacked you?
Not unless he were invisible.
Yeah, best leave it there, John, eh? Come back tomorrow if you need to know more.
Right, Doctor.
Pass the doctor and we'll go to you, would you, Keith? Or constable here.
No, I won't stop, Mr. Watson. Are you sure there weren't an intruder?
No, lad. Thanks for coming. It's a nasty need.
No, Mrs. Watson.
Good night.
Doctor.
Good night, lad.
Good night, John.
Bye, lad.
See you later.
Thanks, Keith.
Give that cat some milk, Frank.
I'll do it.
It's had a worse frightening me, but look of it.
You're right, lad.
What's the matter with it?
The milk's gone.
Well, it drank it.
No, it didn't. It went ape the minute it got near the saucer. It were like something attacked it.
Little bit boggart.
Aye, that'll be what it is. Doing all this damage. I thought so myself, but I didn't like to say so in front of yon lad.
What's a boggart?
Well, boggarts are rather touchy house spirits.
Like poltergeists.
No, not exactly, no. No, boggarts have a taste for milk and other treats like that. And they don't greatly care for cats and dogs either. Sometimes they help with the sweeping up. You had a boggart in this house before?
Aye, when my father were a lad. Now it's back to plague us.
Best say no more, Frank.
Aren't you scared?
Nay, lad, it's just something you learn to live with.
I don't think I could learn to live with something like that.
They say there was a family once who was so plagued by a boggart they decided to move house. Now, they had to do it very quickly and quietly so the boggart wouldn't find out. So very early one morning, they loaded all the possessions onto the back of a cart without saying a word. And just then, the next door neighbour comes by. He says, "Oh, that's leaving, are you?" And the boggart looks out from the back of the cart. He says, "Aye, we're flitting." What on earth?
What is it?
There's a great stone falling across the path. Better go back and warn Frank, see if there's a way around.
It's the jingle stone, isn't it?
Yeah. The one his grandfather took for a gatepost.
Did you hear? Two of them sat down on the railway line. I looked in. I was in church and there was this racket in the porch. Everyone stopped singing and me and Dad went and opened the doors. And these two cats flew in and hounds right after it.
I and everyone went mad trying to catch him.
Did you see all? They were all over town.
Well, yeah.
How did they get out?
No one knows.
Here, Ewan got behind the bar at the Rose and crowd got totally legless.
Do you want to come to Swang later? When my dad goes.
Can't. Anyway, I think I've had enough of boggarts for a bit. I'm flying gateposts.
No ill effects, Eileen. Go on, take it easy for a day or two.
Well, yon boggart swept up for us last night.
Perhaps he felt guilty.
More likely pleased with hot cakes and milk we'd left him. And then he asked big squealing all morning and finishes up chucking stones and clay down the chimney. It's nearly bunged up. And cat won't come in.
Well, if I see it, I'll put down a bowl of chloroform. Come on, David.
Bye, Mrs. Watson.
Goodbye, David. Goodbye, Doctor.
My clinical eye tells me that you and Keith know more than me about that gatepost.
Do you know where it came from?
One of the jingle stones, yes.
Well, only Keith and I were up there yesterday.
And?
They're moving.
How moving?
Along the hill. It's like they're on the march or something. And when we came down to Harbank yesterday, there's one there too. And there wasn't before.
Anything else?
No.
I couldn't have told anyone about Nellie Jack John or the giant any more than David could. But somehow we knew there was a connection between those things and what was happening to the stones. David seemed calm enough, but I thought something might visit me at any moment. I wondered what I'd do if the earth quaked, or a giant appeared, or a stone no longer stood, but walked. But that evening, the garden and the town and the hills beyond were misty and still. There was no sign of anything untoward.
Oh, hello.
Good morning, lad.
It's Keith, innit?
Yeah, that's right.
Is your mum and dad in?
Who is it, Keith? Oh, good morning.
Good morning, madam. Sorry to trouble you. Just making some routine inquiries.
Oh. Well, come in. We're just having our breakfast.
What's that about?
Missing pigs.
Just go on through.
Mr. Heseltine.
Ah, Constable
Hunter, sir.
Oh, yes. Seen you in court.
Yes, sir.
Well, sit yourself down, lad. Have some tea.
Thank you.
What's this about, then? Urgent?
It's the pigs, sir. You know the piggery down by the bridge.
More than most. I had a lot to do with their planning appeal.
Oh, well, they were a great piece of roof torn off in night. Every pig were taken. Just trying to find out if anybody heard anything.
I didn't. Not a squeak. Keith?
No.
No, me. How many were stolen?
200. Fat as lard, all of them. Must have been no end of noise, but nobody heard nout. Beats me.
Settle down! Quiet!
Hear about the pigs, miss?
It's not just here in town, miss. It's all over. Miss, my dad's prize boy went and all his sows.
So how many of you have pigs missing? Your farm's quite far out, isn't it, Gordon?
Aye, miss. And the whole sty's empty. And the dogs weren't backing all night.
It's the whole valley, miss.
My granddad says it's giants, miss.
Why giants, Kevin?
Well, you know that old tale, miss, about the giant over in Wensleydale. Stole all the pigs till the folk got together and killed him.
Well, Kevin, I don't think the police would be too impressed by that theory.
It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's a plane! Pig!
All right, settle down. That's enough about pigs. Adams?
But David and I both knew at that moment that it wasn't a theory. It was fact. We had seen a giant, and a giant had taken the pigs. It was the only possible explanation. But we hardly dared to admit it, even to each other.